Raise your hand if you've ever uploaded a video on YouTube without giving much thought to the title or thumbnail. I'm guilty of doing this more times than I would like to admit, and will likely make this mistake again in the very near future in the name of staying consistent during this 90-day YouTube challenge, which, by the way, I'm doing a 90-day YouTube challenge. Now, in this video, I'm sharing how I package my YouTube videos. Have I mastered it? Absolutely not. We are in the trenches together, you guys. All I can do is show you what I'm currently doing and report on the results of those efforts at the end of every month. How I title my videos, create thumbnails, tag descriptions, and video hook. Feel free to copy my workflow for yourself or tell me in the comments how wrong I am. What do I mean when I say video packaging? Most creators think packaging is just the thumbnail. It's not. Packaging is every single thing that influences whether someone will click, keep watching, and understand what your video is promising. I like to think of it as a movie poster mixed with a contract. I'm making a promise to you, the viewer, that if you click this video, this is what you're going to get. And if my video breaks that promise, well, you're going to leave. So here's my video packaging checklist. Does it instantly create curiosity, emotion, or tension? Can someone understand the idea in under 1 second? Does it make the viewer feel compelled to click? Does it work with the thumbnail instead of repeating it? This helps YouTube understand your video and gives viewers more context. Not nearly as important as most creators think, but still used for categorization and search relevance, so I'm going to continue using them. What's happening in the first 30 seconds, the first 3 seconds, the first minute of the video? Does my intro immediately deliver on the promise my thumbnail and title made? Easier said than done, right? But there's no denying it's important. I can see it in my own metrics. One thing I'm starting to realize is clicks are kind of everything on YouTube. Like, it almost doesn't matter how good your video is if nobody ever clicks on it in the first place. And I think for a long time I approached YouTube backwards. I spent all my time obsessing over editing, over transitions and sound designs and my camera gear. And then the thumbnail would become this rush thing I threw together, right before uploading. All right, cool, good enough, let's post it. But lately, I've been looking way more into click-through rate inside of my YouTube studio. Now, CTR stands for click-through rate. It's basically out of everyone who sees your thumbnail and title, how many people are actually clicking to watch. Right now, I'm trying to aim for a 5% or higher on my videos, but from what I've seen so far, if a video is above 5%, that usually tells me, okay, the packaging is probably working. And if it's lower than that, it usually means people just aren't interested enough to click, which sucks to realize after spending hours editing. People scrolling YouTube have no idea how much effort went into the edit, what camera I used, how good the sound design is, or how many hours I spent on editing the damn thing. All they see is the thumbnail and the title. That's literally the first impression. So it's basically impressions, clicks, watch time. And if people never click, the rest of the video doesn't matter. And I'm not saying editing doesn't matter. I just think I overestimated how much people care about editing before they click the video, because they can't appreciate the edit if they never enter the video in the first place. Most of my old thumbnails were absolutely an afterthought, but the cool thing is you can always go back and improve packaging later. You can change thumbnails, which I plan to do. You can rewrite titles, which I plan to do. You can A/B test different concepts, which I plan to do. And sometimes that alone can completely change a video's performance. So how I come up with my video titles, I mentioned in my pre-production workflow video that I use a custom GPT by a person named Nolan. While that freebie is still available, he has moved it to Notion, which I don't have. I emailed him to ask why, but have not heard back. So Nolan, if you're watching this, bring the custom GPT back. When I have some free time, I plan to build my own GPT as I do for clients, but one task at a time. So here in ChatGPT, the first thing I do is just paste my prompt into the chat and modify it. So I have this Google Doc that I created with my prompt, and then these are all the viral YouTube titles and examples for each. So I just copy and paste this into ChatGPT, but I need to update what my video is about. So help me write a YouTube title for a video about how I film my YouTube videos. Give me 20 options, one for every viral YouTube title below. Version each example to be relevant to what my video is about. And these are all of the examples, and I just hit enter and wait. From here, I'm really trying to identify my top 2 favorite. If I don't like any or I want to tweak them a bit, I will go and further communicate with chat. But for now, let's look and see what it produced. I would have made better YouTube videos earlier if I knew this. No, a new way to film. To be honest, I don't really love any of these because the video is about my workflow, how I set up and film YouTube videos, the talking head and the B-roll. So I'm going to give it a little more context as to what this video is about. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. This is more aligned. How I film YouTube videos at home, my full setup and workflow, how I make talking head videos look cinematic. I do kind of like my entire YouTube studio setup explained in 12 minutes. I'm going to paste that. I'm going to paste number 1. And if my video is longer than 12 minutes in post, then I'll just change this, but I like how it's framed. How I film professional YouTube videos alone at home. I really like that one. Let's see. The one-person YouTube team filming setup. I like that. These are both good. So now I'm getting way more ideas. I finally built a YouTube setup that doesn't stress me out. That one is solid. Okay. So I think I've narrowed down the ones that I like for titles. And again, I'm just further refining. So if I'm not sure if I like all of these, I think I like this one the most. And I like the first one, but I'm going to ask which title is most likely, I cannot type, to go viral. Let's see what it says. Alone at home. Okay, that is pretty aligned because that was the one that I really liked. I come up with thumbnails in 2 ways. I look at thumbnails for the keywords that I'm trying to rank for, and I use ChatGPT, and I follow 3 rules for thumbnails. Text must be less than 5 words. I cannot restate the title, and I must tell a story that piques curiosity. I design thumbnails 3 ways. I use AI tools, which I'll share in just a moment. I send it to my graphic designer, most commonly, and I use Photoshop. So let's talk AI. So when it comes to designing my thumbnail, I do use ChatGPT as well. I like to start here and just talk to it, prompt it with what my video is about, my title, and see what kind of concepts it will come up with. And then I will hit enter. So this is one way you can kind of conceptualize it through here and look through and see if there's anything that stands out to you that you can do. But a new way that I really like to come up with concepts for my thumbnails is I found this custom GPT from contentcreator.com. I actually took their course on AI, and this is a free tool that they have. So it's called the triple threat formula, and it's really cool. All you do is you select from one of these options. So I'll say I know thumbnail ideas, and it will ask you what your video is about. My video is about how I film YouTube videos, my workflow for setting up lights, camera, teleprompter, and filming talking head and B-roll. Here is my working video title. And let's see what it does. So it will produce a few concepts for me. And if I like any of these, I could then tell it which concept I like, and it will produce a nano banana prompt, which is so cool. So just for sake of example, I'm going to say I like thumbnail concept 2. So I will just put concept 2 and wait for it to produce. Again, this is kind of the whole creative brief of the thumbnail, which is also very helpful if I want my graphic designer to produce the thumbnail. Now I have creative direction for him as well. But what I want to draw your attention to is the text prompt for image generation. So I will just copy this prompt, again, for sake of example, and I use Higgsfield AI. They have Nano Banana in here, and so I will just make sure that I go to image and select Nano Banana. I'm already here. And all I do is just paste the prompt, make sure my aspect ratio is 16:9 for YouTube thumbnail, and generate. Now, again, I'm just showing you a quick example of how I utilize these tools, but you can also add photos of yourself and ask it to make you the subject. It's really just talking to it, but again, I'm just gonna show you the first image that it produces. And so here's what it produced. My process for writing video tags and descriptions is attributed to Vanessa Lau. I use her prompts she shared in a YouTube video of hers a while back. So I write out my script and paste it into ChatGPT with the following prompt. I then refine and paste that into the tag section of my video outline document. I go back to ChatGPT, I paste the tags with the following prompt. And boom, I have my video description. Aside from that, I do know tags as I'm performing keyword research. So I'll refer to that list in TubeBuddy as needed. Now I have to keep people watching. I used to just start videos randomly, no real structure, no intentional hook, just...
All right guys, welcome back to my channel, another video.
So now before I film, I try to think through the type of hook I want the video to have. Inside my content tracker, I have a section for hook categories. Some of the formats I've been experimenting with for this challenge are straight to it, reveal the climax first, introduce the stakes, call out the viewer and tell a story, ask a question, or set an expectation. I'm not acting like I've mastered this or anything, though I do have 10 years of practice doing this for clients, and yes, I have helped them go viral. I just know that the beginning of the video matters way more than I used to think, especially the first few seconds. So here are a couple things I'm testing. I want to make sure the first 3 seconds visually match the thumbnail as closely as possible, almost like continuing the thumbnail instead of restarting the conversation. I'm front loading the edit. So instead of slowly building energy, I'm trying to pack more movement into the first minute. So more scene changes, more motion, zooms, animations, cuts, visual switches, pattern interruptions. Basically just giving the viewer more stimulation up front before the video settles in. Because people, including myself, decide very fast whether they're staying or leaving. So to summarize, video packaging consists of titles, thumbnails, description, tags, and video hook. Aim to have a click-through rate of 5% or better, and aim for 60 to 70% retention for the first 30 seconds to 1 minute of your video. If you want to see my results, follow along. My first reporting video will be the first week of June, where I show the results after 30 days into this 90-day YouTube growth challenge.
Peace!